Fisher, and I gotta clear this out. I hope what I'm going to share tonight is helpful to people. That's like my only goal. Anytime I'm standing in front of people is I just want it to be a blessing and a help to just one person. That's all I want. So I'm going to share my screen and go through. Can you guys see that? Can you see my screen? Okay, perfect. So we have a few, whoops, I don't know what's happening. Okay, we have a few awesome things going on. I know we sound like a broken record talking about Market Connect, but it's because it's important. It's so incredibly important. I always tell everybody I don't remember a single solitary thing that was said on that stage when I went 7 years ago to my very first event, but a conversation that I would have never had with Maria Williams happened at that live event and changed everything in my business. And you guys, I don't know if you can feel what's happening. I know a lot of people can, but there's stuff happening. Like this is like a big deal. So this is very centrally located. What I love about this is it is not an uber expensive city. Kansas City is not very expensive. And the hotel rooms are some of the cheapest that we've been able to get in the room blocks. If you are looking for roommates, there are tons of people that have spaces to split costs and keep things low. But this is where they're launching the new GLP-1 activator that this company is coming out with. And I don't know if you just saw, but Michelle posted a video of Tyler Daniels today in the social media shareable group. That is huge. Like the man changed nothing, like changed nothing and has lost like 23 pounds in 5 weeks. So that's a really big deal. So get to Market Connect. It's going to be a big deal. And the more people you get there, you can't download what happens there into somebody else's brain. And what this will create for them is so important. Know the power of being there. The Alaska cruise qualification is happening right now. I know it's easy to get to a place where you look at the qualifications and just think, oh, I can't do that. And you move on with your life. I promise you that you can. And I promise you that nothing bad is going to happen from you trying, from you working to earn it. Say you work and your business grows, but you missed the trip. Was it still worth it? Your business grew, which means if your business grows, you make more money in this business and you help more people. So make sure that's on your list of things that you are working towards. Know the ins and outs of that incentive because it is huge. Like an Alaska cruise is something people say, I'm not a cruise person. I don't love cruises. They're not my thing. But an Alaska cruise, sure. Yeah, I'm going to be there. So make sure that's like a bucket list thing, something that people are like, maybe I'll do that, when I'm 50 and 60 and have the money, because they are not cheap cruises if you've ever looked into them. And this is a 7-night Norwegian cruise. Just FYI. So to kind of go along with Market Connect and talking to people and getting people invited, I know that one of the consultants that I recently enrolled last month is registered and signed up for Market Connect. They have a hotel room. They're going to be there. They've been in the business all of maybe 3 weeks, but they see the value of it. And so don't negate. I think it's 52 days away. I think that's how far away it is. The power of conversations. And Sean and Michelle love Eric Worre. We all love Eric Worre. He is incredible. But it's not the fact that you have a quality problem usually in the conversations that you're having. It's usually an issue of you're not having enough conversations. And the red flag that flies up in my brain when this is happening in my mind that I need to talk to more people is if somebody keeps coming up over and over and over and over and over again. And I feel like, oh, I need to talk to them again. I need to talk to them again. I need to talk to them again. If you're at that place, you're not talking to enough people. And so join that free event that Eric's doing August 21st through the 23rd. So it starts in 2 days. It's 1 hour every day, but having 100 conversations with people is only going to grow your business, because out of those 100 people, he's going to walk everybody through like, okay, this is a way to authentically share what you have. And out of those 100 people, say you get 10, say you get 20. I mean, that is huge for your business. So that is going on. Somebody I think was going to post the link to that in the comments to get registered for that, but it's free, you guys.
It's there in the comments.
It's there. Okay, perfect. I can't see my comments. I don't know. I can't see anybody. I don't know who I'm talking to. I haven't figured that part out on my new computer. And then lastly, Vitality Living. This group is amazing. There's over 15,000 people in this group. And just today, one of my girls, she's adding people to this group. She's getting new consultants that are so excited. They went into that group and they're like, oh my goodness, this group is amazing. There's so much valuable information. And they had questions about like, okay, can you tell me the ins and outs of this? And I was like, hey, go inside this amazing group, type in what you just mentioned into the search bar, and it'll bring, I mean, it's like validation, scrolling pages and pages of validation for anything and everything that you want your people to learn more about. So Michelle put together this awesome invite to Vitality Living. I think I have it there a little bit bigger so you guys can see it, but adding them to Vitality Living is a process. So don't ever walk away from your people in the middle of the process, because that isn't good customer care. But I promise you, if you take good care of them through this process, you're going to have a raving fan. And raving fans talk about what they are raving about. They talk about what they love. And so if they love your Vitality Living group, if they love that you took good care of them, if they love the products that you have told them to take, they're going to talk about that, which is huge. So there's going to be a lot of new information coming into that. I don't know if you wanted to share anything or add anything to that, Michelle, but a lot of stuff with GLP-1 is going to be added in there in the near future. Did you want to add anything?
Sure, I'll be quick because I know you got a lot of good stuff. So anybody that earned Rise Retreat is getting product on GLP-1 this week. So people are going to be going live in there starting this week, going live in there when they get the product, going live in there when they start tasting it, the days going forward through the whole process. So start adding people, letting them know that this is going on, tagging them on it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Tomorrow night, I believe it's going to be at 8:00 Central. I'm waiting on a final confirmation, but I have a huge story I don't want to tell you all and break the excitement of what happened for this individual who is on a synthetic GLP-1 and what has happened for her being on our Healthy Glow. But you're going to want to be on tomorrow night. You're going to also want to tag your guests and prospects and customers in Vitality Living, because that's where we're going to go live and have them listen to this and understand why they want to be activated prior to getting on GLP-1. So thank you, Jillynn.
Awesome. Okay, so those are kind of the main key announcements for tonight. What I'm going to talk to you tonight about is authentically being you on social. I don't know why this keeps switching all over the place, but finding your authentic voice on social media, because we watch a lot of super successful people and try to mimic them. But the key part of that is that they aren't you, and God created you very, very special and very, very different than anybody else out there. So if I tried to be Michelle Poe, like, that woman is beautiful and amazing and has more energy in her pinky finger than I have in my entire being. So if I try to post and mimic Michelle, it's not going to come across genuine and authentic. And there's beauty in each and every one of us. And one of the things that has been coming up a lot is people are wanting to build on social media. Like we all talk about, like, in-person events are super, super important. Don't ever stop doing them. But when I look at my entire business, I built knee to knee. I built person to person. I had never even seen an in-person event, like a opportunity meeting, until I was at the time what was a Pro 5 in this business. I had no idea what it even looked like. I had no idea anything about it. I just talked to person to person to person to person. But in the last couple of years, I would say about 90% of the people that I'm bringing into my business have been through social media. So we're going to kind of look at this backwards. Your core is super, super important. I'm going to walk you guys through an exercise that I think is really, really important in finding your authentic voice. We're going to go through finding who you are, what not only your kind of key pillars are. Everybody talks about your 5 pillars that are important to you, but it goes a little deeper than that. And it's important to find your passions. And I'll talk a little bit more about that. And then how to integrate that into social media so that you can find your tribe. And what is beautiful and amazing is the last year and a half, the people that are coming into my business are my people. Like I love them with every fiber of my being. And oh my goodness, it's fun. It's so much fun. So I'm going to dive into that. I don't know what this screen is going to do, so hopefully it works. I'm always learning and I hate technology. But our goal tonight is to find your authentic passions that will attract an endless number of people to you, and you will never run out of things to post about. This is a key question that I've been getting a lot lately from different people on my team, and from like around the company is, how do you keep coming up with things to post about? Like, it's like you always have to have a post, and they say to post every single day and at least post once a day in your on your page, and make sure you have 5 to 8 stories going at all times. I'm not really going to talk about stories tonight because I really just post my life there. If the dog chased the peacock up into a tree, I post about it. If my kid's riding around on the back of a gravel rake, I post about it. Like, that's my life. And then I throw in awesome and amazing before and after pictures. But what I'm going to talk about is you're posting, reaching people that are like-minded to you. Because the people that Tanya attracts, yes, we have some overlapping like passions, but they're not all the same. Like, Tanya doesn't live on a homestead. Not that everybody I have to attract has to live on a homestead, but you're going to find you. And so you're not going to question, like, I feel like I don't have a plan and I'm just posting. This is what my grandma says, but willy-nilly all over the place. So the fastest way to build trust is to build likeness. Okay. People follow those they know, like, and trust in the people they have something in common with. I love the line in The Greatest Showman, you don't need everyone to love you, Finn, just a few good people. We don't need everybody in the world to build a massive, massive business in network marketing. We just need a few of our favorite people to run with and do this with. So I've gotten really, really intentional on who I want to do business with. And that looks very different for me than it did a year ago. So if you try and reach everybody, you're going to reach nobody. And this is a hard part for me. I hate the word niche or niche. I hate that word. It like sends shivers down my spine because I'm like, oh my goodness, but there's so much more to life than, just talking about decorating or just talking about homesteading or whatever. But you're going to find like your passions. Your authentic self is who you are deep down that doesn't care what other people think. So are you somebody that cares what other people think? Like, is that something that's hard when you're thinking through what you're posting on social media? Like, are other people going to like look down on me? Are other people going to judge me? Or if that's something that really is hard, I would really challenge that you probably don't know who you authentically are. Because when you know that and you love that person, you don't care if somebody else doesn't, because that's the person God created you to be. And so finding that person and loving that person, other people will love that person too, because you're so clear on who that is. So we're going to kind of reverse engineer from the end goal of social media and what you down to what you do day in and day out to get to the end goal. Okay. So the end goal is endless amounts of prospects and even people coming to you instead of you chasing people down. And then we're going to get down to what do you do today and tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day. So this is my first thing that I want you to do, and I don't want you to skip it. So get a piece of paper. I should have told you that at the beginning, but grab a piece of paper, and for like 3 to 5 minutes, I just want you to write down the answer, 10 things, 10 items. I want you to fill in 10 things. If I had all the time and all the money in the world, what would I do and who would I be? And I just want you to take a few minutes and write this down. And I promise you there is a rhyme and a reason to why I'm having you do this, but we're going to get that done first. Okay. So I'm going to set an alarm for 3 minutes. And I want you to write down 10 things. If I had all the time and all the money in the world, what would I do and who would I be? So write those things down. And I might like have people on you. I really wish I could see people. And this can be things, what would I do and who would I be? So this can be like, I would be skinny, which we have something that's coming out for that, right? You would maybe hire some things out. You would maybe spend more time, taking a photography class. But if you had all the time and the money in the world, what would you do and who would you be? And in the comments, if you guys have, oh, hey, I can see the comments now. This is wonderful. If you want to share some of them, put some of them in the comments. One of the ones for me is I would hire a classically trained tutor for my kids and just spend massive amounts of time traveling. Another one is I would decorate what I want, when I want, where I want, and how often I want. Maybe every morning you would wake up and like sit outside for an hour and just, for me, it's still coffee, you guys. I love the taste of a warm cup of coffee. I still drink my Axio too, but I love my cup of coffee. Oh, I like that. Write music, make music, work out regularly, spend time with my kids, take trips. Confident. I like that. Okay, so get super specific if at all possible. Like what are things that you love to do that you don't get to do because you either don't have the time or you don't have the money? And a lot of people I know are like, I don't have like hobbies. Like I don't like there's not just like a ton of things I love to do. But there's topics that every single person on planet Earth is passionate about. I know some people are passionate about politics. Some people are passionate about homeschooling. Some people are passionate about exercise. Some people are passionate about activation. family cruise. Okay. I would travel to Alaska. Oh, I love it. My alarm's going to go off, so I'm going to turn that off. Okay. I love what everybody is saying. That is so amazing. So when I went through this exercise myself, I had way more than 10, like way, way more than 10. But the next step that I want you to do is if you, on that list, you don't have things that excite you, that like when you're hanging out with your friends, you love to talk about, you can't, it's something that like, oh, I need to call so and tell her about this. Like, I'm so excited about blank. If you don't have anything like that on your list, take like 1 minute and write down those topics that you love. I really can't see. Okay. So the next thing I want you guys to do is, I don't know how to move this. Okay. Is to find your core passions. Like, we're going to narrow that down. You found the main things that you love. Now, there are some things that you do just because they're familiar. And this was one of the things when I was going through this list. I homeschool my kids. I'm semi-passionate about the reasons why, but when I think about it as a topic of something that I want to dive into, and I really want to like educate people on this, and I really want to share about this, it doesn't like spur excitement in me. Like, it's not like I love, like, I'm all about homeschooling and I'm all like, it's everything to me. And so that's not a topic. I thought, when I first started diving into this, I was like, oh, homesteading, homeschooling, and health. Like, they're all H words. It kind of rhymes. It kind of goes together. But anytime I would get to the health part or to the homeschooling part, I'm like, oh my gosh, what do I post about? What do I say? I don't know what to say. I don't know. We do it. Like, sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's not, like all of that. It's a huge part of my life, but it's not something that I'm hugely passionate about. I do it and I do it to the best of my ability because I know it's something God's called me to do, but it's not something I'm passionate about. And so a lot of times your passions will be born out of your struggles. Okay. So a lot of people in their world have struggled with weight. I am one of those people that my hormones have always been out of whack and all kinds of craziness. Some people, they're passionate about the topic of money because they have lived for years without it. So a couple of my two main passions are health and money, because they're kind of both super important to life on this earth. And I love researching like all the details of that stuff. So when you're going through this, pick three things that you can wake up every single day excited about, things that you want to keep learning about, things that you desire to share with other people. Narrow it down to three things. And I know that that doesn't sound like many, and it was hard for me to kind of narrow it down to that, but I promise you, we're going to narrow it down really, really tight, and then we're going to broaden it back out. So you're not going to feel like, oh my goodness, I can only talk about this one topic and I can only post about this one thing, but I'm so much more than that. There's so much more to me than that. I promise you, we'll like open it back up again. So this is kind of showing what doing this process is going to do for your business. You need to get down to that core before you can affect the world. The core, your authenticity, then your social media posts, then you're attracting your tribe and your people. You can't start at the social media posts. A lot of times we try to start there and say, okay, what should I post today? But we don't know like what we're passionate about, what gift we have to share with the world. And so going through this exercise, finding those things you're passionate about. I have a friend, she is obsessed and passionate about crocheting. She could educate the entire world about crocheting. She has built a massive, massive, massive following, people who know, like, and trust her in the world of crochet. Like, massive. So part of this is you're going to find those groups of people where you resonate with. So this is going to get really clear in a second. So this is kind of just a breakdown of my 3 main topics that are important to me. And yours will probably look totally different than this. And that's 100% okay. But this has cleared up a lot of the mud of like, should I post about my kids today? Should I post about my homestead? Like, what should I be doing every single day? So when you find your 3 passions, mine are health, homesteading, and money. Which money was a hard one for me to come to because there's a whole thing behind that. But when you find your 3 passions, what are 5 topics that relate to those passions? So for me, health is important, but what specifically about health is important? Dawn is walking on a walker thingy, and I'm watching her and I'm like, oh, that's a great way to get in exercise. Like, that's a great thing to share. And she can talk to people about the benefits of walking. Like, you can do all kinds of research on the benefits of walking versus running. There's actually a lot more health benefits to walking than there is to running.
Hey, Jill.
Go ahead, Tanya. Yeah.
All right, there's a big black box over the last column. Do you see that on your end? Like, is there something you can move?
Did it go away?
Nope. No worries if it can't. I just didn't know if you, oh, there, it's gone. Thank you.
It's gone? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. There you go. Sorry about that. So these are kind of my 3 that I really, really honed in on. But you can see that there's 5 different things under each one of them. People love it when I talk about my peacocks. It's hilarious to me. We've had peacocks for 3 or 4 years now. And I kid you not, it builds a relationship with people. People who follow me for my peacocks have now become customers and part of my business because I'm sharing about my life. Some people could care less about homesteading, and I'm still, recruiting people into my business that don't live on a homestead and have zero desire in the entire world to homestead. But what stuck out to them about what I am posting is health or money. Okay, so just know you don't have to be everything to all people, but you need to be clear on who you are, because you're going to attract your people because it's something you're passionate about and people can feel your energy. So under health, I have activation, weight loss, food, exercise, God's pharmacy. What God created is so much better than pharmaceutical drugs, that kind of stuff. And just in that area alone, like, all of these things lead up to my business. So there's this overarching umbrella of the reason I'm on social media is to build my business. I don't know that I would be on social media if it weren't for the purpose of building my business. I might every once in a while to keep somebody informed, but if you're truly using Facebook and Instagram to build your business, your content needs to be intentional. If you're using Facebook to keep your best friends, family from 20 years ago informed on what's happening in your life, then this isn't gonna jive, and you're gonna notice in your business that it's not growing super fast on social media. But if you're using it to grow your business, you need to be really intentional that you're posting about topics and you're keeping those topics specific. Okay. So when I'm posting about my chickens and my animals, it goes back to my business in some way. When I'm posting about health and activation, it goes back to my business in some way. When I'm posting about money, it goes back to my business in some way. Not in the fact that every single post I ever post is like, hey, look at my business. This is what my business has done. This is how having chickens has to do with my business. But it's building what people believe about me. Does that make sense? It's sharing authentically what's important to me. And along the way of sharing what's important to me, I'm collecting people that find those same things important. Okay. So, in this, if you do math, 3 times 15, or sorry, 3 times 5 is 15. So you just have in here, you can just look through your list. Today, I'm going to post about health and activation. Tomorrow, I'm going to post about homestead and raise beds. Next, I'm going to post about money and freedom. Then I'm going to go back to the beginning and say, okay, now I'm going to post about health and weight loss. This is 15 different posts right here. And if you go through that cycle twice, you're only posting about your peacocks twice a month. You're only posting about weight loss twice a month. But people come back to see what they're interested in. Because if you're creating value and you're adding, like, I mentioned the benefits of walking versus running. Like, people love that information. If I talk about like how lemons are super, super great for your health, people love that. If you're adding to people and you're creating content that this person may never join my business, this person may never take my products, but did I add something that they will find useful or funny? Okay. And those are the kind of the main things that people are looking for when they go to social media. So you just found your entire world in the process of doing this. And I promise you, you probably didn't get down to the nitty gritty and really flush out your true passions and what people call your pillars. But I take the time to do it because I have found that since I have honed in on this, I can't even post enough and I have to stop myself. And I have 550 notes in my phone because I'm like, oh, I want to post about that, but today's not that day. And I just posted about that topic yesterday, but I found this new, great, wonderful information. I'm passionate about the topics. The most boring people on earth are people not going anywhere. Those people that are not growing. If you are in growth, share it. If you are learning about photography and that's a massive passion of yours, share it. Dawn loves, I'm only, because she's the only person I can see. I can't see anybody else. I could see Tanya for a minute, but now I can't see her. And she loves to decorate and she's good at it. Like, maybe that's not one of her like key passions that she's using to build her business, but it makes her relatable. Does that make sense? You don't see like homeschooling on my list there. It's something that I do. It's not something that I'm super, super passionate about. And so tie it all together so that your message is clear. And when you're living out your passions out loud, it's kind of like what Carrie Dickey said. If you light yourself on fire, people will come from miles away to watch you burn. So I hope that that was helpful to you guys. Oh, hi, everybody's here. I hope that was helpful. I couldn't see anybody the whole time I was doing that, but new computer problems. But I hope that it was helpful. If you have any questions, I promise you, if you make that list, if you are intentional about it, like you will have so much content, you won't even know what to do with it. And I will say, Instagram, you might want to take it down to 2. People that have like massive, huge, amazing, like big followings. I follow a lot of decorators, and that's the only topic they talk about on Instagram. But I know that when I go to their page, I'm going to get good decorating information. And so just know, like, there's a million ways you can brand yourself, but know who you are. Know what makes you tick and what gives you energy, because when you have energy, people that have that same energy are going to be connected and drawn to you. So there's so many people in the world. Don't try to be somebody else. You're going to be miserable doing it. So I love you all. Does anybody have any questions? I mean, I'll stay on for a few more minutes. But I wanted to make sure that we were done at 8 o'clock. I went to 8:02. Oh, look at Dawn. I'm totally taking a picture of this. Sean, keep it up for a second. I love it. She's the only person I can see while I was talking. So anyways, I hope that that was helpful, you guys. You'll have 30 days worth of posts if you go through that process. Tanya! I love you so much. You're so cute.
Jillynn, that was amazing. So good. I hope you can see all the comments because people have been commenting this entire time how great and powerful this was. Wowie. I think you might have to put all of those slides into Telegram, no pressure. But that was really, really, really beautiful and powerful.
Okay, well, I'm glad it was helpful. I might try and figure that out. know if I can. I'll try. I'll really try. This whole technology thing really throws me for a loop. But Tanya, this is awkward. No, it's not. You're beautiful. Love you so much. So yes, I hope it was helpful to even just one person. It has dramatically changed Facebook and social media from a chore that I don't love doing to something that I'm like, oh, I'm excited to see what people commented today or people's private messages to me. So it's just changed like the stress level of social media completely. So anyways, you guys have a great night.
Carrie, you're famous.
I love it.
All right. Thank you, Jillynn. Thank
Yeah.
you, everybody.
Talk to you later, everyone. Bye.
Bye, everybody.